I am co-owner. The owner is Biljana Klas.
That's right. She kind of really runs the ship. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
We started the company 2018 with registrations and all procedure. And 2019 we imported the first wine and spirits from Europe. And our journey started on that time period. And we are importer of high-end wine and spirits from region Slovenia, Serbia, now with Croatia, Italy, and Germany and all other difference. So we established company 2018, but the story was previously because in our wedding in Wisconsin, my godfather was the owner of Perun Distillery. So we had always planned when we move back to Wisconsin, our business will be to import wine and spirits. And the story from the customers give us the power to go on the right direction.
Well, it was in, I think it was July 2020. Yeah, so a little bit over 3 years actually. The start was actually, it was more about writing and communicating with the FDA for me. That's how I got involved. So it was a very solo operation, an isolated operation, phone calls, Zoom calls. So it was in a lot of research. The beginning of it was, it started with Zarko and BB, and by the way, BB and Zarko, that's the BNZ and BZ Consortium. But it started with them at the Vin Expo at the Javits Center in Manhattan in 2019. They were walking through they had their Perun products there, but then BB was walking through the Expo Center and came across this coral-encrusted bottle that stopped her in her tracks. And that was from Adriatic Winery in Serbia. They were a partner with the folks that are aging wine underwater, and they were displaying this at the Javits Center. They stopped and they asked if they could taste the wine, and they said, obviously, of course, sure. And then Zarko looked up at the sign and noticed that Adriatic Winery was from Serbia, which is his home country. So they started talking in Serbian, and you can fill in a little bit on how it all came to be from there.
Yeah, the wine was really amazing, and after a couple of words, we asked them, can we import this in the United States? They said, yes, we would like, but problem is we don't have a permit to import this kind of wine in the United States. So we said, maybe this can be some new challenge in our life, and we like the challenges. Life needs to be interesting more and more. So from short time period, we had a meeting with Adriatic Winery, and we become a representative of Adriatic Winery in the United States. They was happy if we can try to accomplish the permit to bring wine of the sea, coral wine, in the United States. So we tried. We sent a couple emails, no answer. Okay. After that, we tried with our friend, who is a lawyer in Waupaca. And we had some small attention from FDA. In meantime, my friend asked me, maybe I know a guy who can help you, Zarko, in the project with FDA. I said, come on, bring him. So she came next day and introduced the Nick Wood, our partner. And we started our journey together. We didn't know what's going to happen, but we knew that we will give everything this to be approval. So after that, Nick can explain better than me what's happened.
It was a very simple introduction through a friend, and Zarko explained the story and where they were with the story. And essentially, there was a winery about 10 years ago that a Napa winery that actually submerged wine in Charleston Harbor and made a big splash, got a lot of media attention when they brought it up. And it all goes back to a shipwreck where wines were found back in the day. Got the attention of the FDA, who said that the water in Charleston Harbor may contain filth, and that filth may enter the wine, therefore making it adulterated. Therefore, the FDA said to the label TTB, which labels wine, that you should not accept labels because it's improperly labeled. So essentially, this process was illegal in the United States ever since, and it still is actually. We have a letter of no objection based specifically on the process that we have been doing at Adriatic Shell in Croatia in the Adriatic Sea for the last 10 years. There was no ban on this overseas, it was only the United States. So we were able to show, because they've got extensive research, they've been tracking this. Marco is he's a genius, he's a scientist, he's a wine lover, he's a diver, and he has been experimenting with this process for at least 10 years, and they've been tracking it. So they've been experimenting with different closure methods. They use champagne corks, they use regular corks, they used stainless steel corks or caps, they use like the glass, like on a Grolsch bottle. They tried it all. And what they found was that there was one particular cork, which is it's a natural cork, but it's ground up and then reconstituted, so there's no, like a natural cork has flaws in it because that's just the way cork is. This does not have any flaws, so it was found to be 100% effective over the course of 4 or 5 years of experimenting in thousands of bottles. And so they were able to show us that information, which we then communicated to the FDA. And as their objection after objection after objection came up over the course of 2.5 years of letter writing back and forth with months in between correspondence, they said that yes, you've addressed all our objections, and therefore we'll write you a letter of no objection. The ban is still in place, but your particular process is approvable by the TTB. So that letter came in April of 2022.
But I know from Erdevik Winery that really they doing professionally what you're doing, and we had the ton of informations for data more around 10 years, everything what you're doing, and everything what FDA was asking, we proved them. And absolutely, FDA has all the right to ask what they ask, really. And we satisfied them in every way.
So we import some of Italy's favorite wines from Amarone, which we spoke about before, Barbaresco, Brunello, Rosso di Montalcino, some of Italy's favorites as well as France's favorites, Chablis, Grand Cru, Premier Cru, and then some of the more niche, unknown regions such as Dumer from Serbia, Croatia's Jazz sparkling wine, and now we're expanding into Germany as well with some of Dr. Hugo Tanich's Rieslings. It is fair to say, though not technically true, we're like family. This is like my third grandfather. What makes him my third grandfather is my real grandfather is good friends with him. They worked on the project dating back to 2020, so I did have a ground level familiarity with what to expect and what to see. So I had seen some of the bottles, and though it didn't reel me in initially, I definitely always had intrigue and and some grasp of the concept when I came in.
Our website is wineofthesea.com.